Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a full face of Topshop Makeup or Topshop Beauty or whatever you want to call it. So Topshop have basically recently revamped their whole entire makeup collection and they now have tons of products on their website. They have done makeup before and I used to be obsessed with one of their highlighters, which they've actually kind of repackaged and got in all of the new stuff as well, and it's like exactly the same as it used to be but in like nicer packaging. And I actually did use a couple of these products in a video that I did, I think it was a couple of weeks back now. I used the brow pencil and the eyeliner in that video and I asked if you guys would want to see a full face of like all Topshop makeup, and a lot of you said please can I do this video, but this video is actually sponsored by Topshop, which is so nice of them for wanting to work with me. But I have already tried all this makeup stuff just because obviously I wanted to try it before I did a sponsored video on it, if you get what I mean. So for me, I have used this stuff already, but for you guys it's like I guess the first time that I'm showing you it all on camera and stuff, so it's kind of like a testing video, but then I have tested the stuff before, but it's still like a full face of Topshop makeup, so that is what I'm gonna do. Oh, also as well, this jumper that I'm wearing today is also from Topshop, so all the links to all the products and everything and this jumper will be in the description box. And it's all super affordable as well. I'm pretty sure the most expensive thing out of like all of the makeup on their site slash in store is £16, so it's all pretty much like drugstore prices, which is great. Let's put it on my face. And obviously you guys know that if I had tested this stuff and not liked it, then I wouldn't have done the sponsored video. But the fact that I tried out some of this stuff and I was like, I feel like you guys would like some of this. So everything comes in boxes like this. Like for most of the products, they've got a box that's got like a little window showing you whatever colour is in it. And then for example, like this is the primer. It's in a frosted glass bottle and then the lid has got like an embossed kind of logo on it. I think it looks really expensive. So this one right here is the Longwear Mattifying Primer. It does have a pump, which is super handy. And the consistency of this is kind of like it's almost like a mixture between one of the silicone primers and then like a gel kind of formula. I don't really know how to describe it, but hopefully you guys can kind of like see on my face that it's not like one of those super silicone-y ones, but then at the same time it has the same sort of effect of making your skin feel really, really soft and smooth. It basically just like smooths out all of your skin before you put your foundation on. They also do have a couple of other primers on there. I think they have an illuminating one as well, but obviously I went for the mattifying one because my skin does not need any more illumination. For foundation, I have the Longwear Liquid Foundation in the shade Meringue. All of the shades are kind of like names rather than shade numbers, if that makes sense. So I just kind of went off the pictures that were on the website to pick out my shades, but obviously it would probably be easier if you went into store and did some swatches and stuff. But again, this is what the bottle looks like. This is just a glass bottle and this time it's got a matte lid. Again, the foundation has a pump, which is super handy, and I think this is a pretty good colour match for me, so I'm just doing like a pump and a half. As you can see, it's got pretty good coverage. I would say it's kind of like a medium coverage foundation. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good colour for me. And I would say this foundation has kind of got like a satin sort of finish. It's not matte, but it's not dewy. It's kind of a really nice in-between. Hopefully you can see that on my skin. It's kind of a satin. So this concealer I got in the shade Oat, and it's actually really pale, so if you have really light skin and you want a good pale concealer, then this one is actually really light. This is what the packaging looks like. It's got a matte lid and then the rest is shiny, and then you can kind of see the colour at the bottom. Rather than being like a rounded doe foot, it's kind of a flat one, if that makes sense, but it's actually a really nice applicator. Look, you see what I mean about the concealer being pale. One thing I have noticed about this concealer is it does dry quite quickly, so I'm going to do my under eyes first and then go back in with my blemishes, but it's a really nice concealer. As you can see, that's just really brightened up my under eyes. I quite like how it dries down because that means it's quite long lasting. As you can see, like it did a really good job of covering this spot down here. And then I'm gonna add some around my nose. Okay, so that is my concealer done. I actually really like this concealer. Okay, then for powders, I've actually got two different ones. The first one that I've got it's the weirdest but coolest powder. It's called the Invisible Powder and it's called White Lies. And I don't know how to describe it, right? This is what the packaging looks like. It just kind of feels like nothing on your skin. It looks like this, but then when you kind of swatch it, like you can't see it. It is actually invisible, but then at the same time it sets your makeup. Like, I honestly don't know how to describe this other than you just have to feel the texture of it, because it is the craziest feeling thing. Like, you can feel it but you can't see it, which I don't know what this wizardry is, but like, you would think it would come out white. You can only see it the tiniest bit and then it just kind of disappears. Like, I don't even know. But the other powder that I have is the Longwear pressed powder, and this is in the shade Cashew. However, this one is a tiny little bit too yellow for me. The packaging is gorgeous for this. It's just matte black and then the bottom of it is shiny, and then again it's got a nice big mirror, so super good for traveling. Under my eyes I'm going to use this one, but again they do have other shades of the pressed powder, so I'm just taking this translucent one. Like, I don't even know how to describe the texture of this powder. If any of you have tried it, you'll know exactly what I mean, but I don't know, it's just so crazy. It feels so thin, like it almost feels like nothing, but then it sets your makeup at the same time, which is nice. And then I'm gonna go in with this one over the rest of my face. Actually, you know what? I think I can get away with this colour. So for bronzer, again, they had quite a few different shades, but I went for this one, which is called Mohawk, and this is the matte bronzing powder. It has the same sort of packaging as the powder. It's just like a matte lid, and also it's magnetic as well. So I'm going to use this for kind of like contour and bronzing in one. And what I like about this is it's not crazy pigmented, so you can kind of build it, which I think you guys know I like that in a bronzer. And the actual shade of this I think is quite nice as well, because you can use it for like contour and bronze. Do you see what I mean? Like, it doesn't look too... It's not too warm, but it's not too cool. Maybe I did put a bit too much on, but that's just how I roll. So what I mean by it's buildable, you see, like, if you swatch it, it doesn't come out super, super dark, so you can just build it up really nicely. And then for blush, I have the matte powder blush. This is in the shade Game Changer. Again, it's the same sort of packaging, but this one's just a bit smaller and it looks like this. They also had quite a few different shades of blush, but I decided to just go for a really standard kind of pinky rosy toned one, because it just looked like a pretty extra flush of colour type of blush, which is my favourite. I don't like anything too out there or like bold. Like, I don't really know what else to say about this blush. You can see it on my cheeks. It's just a really nice matte blush in a very kind of neutral shade that I think would work on a lot of skin tones. Oh, and then for highlighter, I do also have a liquid highlighter as well. They've got quite a few different highlighter options on their website. They've got liquid highlighters, they've got powder highlighters, and the powder highlighter does come in a few different shades as well. The liquid highlighter I'm not going to use on my face, just because me personally, I prefer powder highlighters. But if you're into liquid highlighters, this one is the shade Misty, and it's so beautiful. It's like a pinky champagne super metallic colour. So there's a swatch of that one there. So if you are into your liquid highlighters, these are beautiful. But because I just cannot seem to master the art of liquid highlighters, I'm gonna stick to my powder one. And this is the Glow Powder Highlighter in the shade Crescent Moon, and it's got this gold packaging. And the actual shade of this is exactly the same pretty much as how it used to be. It's like a peachy pink sort of colour, but it reflects kind of like gold and peach. I don't really know if you can see that there. So pretty. It's basically a champagne highlighter with the tiniest kind of hint of peach in it, but it just gives the most beautiful glow. Then I'm also putting this on my brow bone, on my nose, and also my inner corners. Okay, so for my eyebrows, I've got two different products. One of them I have used in a video before. So the first product that I have is the brow pencil. This is in the shade Modify, and in the video when I used this the other day, I was testing it for the first time in that video. It's just your kind of standard brow pencil. It's got an actual sharpen up pencil, you know, a standard brow pencil on one side, and then the other side has got a spoolie. Again, this comes in multiple different shades. The shade that I got is Modify, which is a really nice kind of ashy taupe sort of colour. What I really liked about this brow pencil is it kind of feels like a brow powder. Like, the texture of it is not creamy, it's more like a pigmented powder pencil, if that makes any sort of sense. I don't think it does, but as brow pencils go, it's really easy to work with because it kind of, you can kind of blend it. Oh, and then for a brow gel, this is the Brow Definer Mascara in the shade Chase. And this is kind of like a cool toned brown, but oh my goodness, you guys, look at the brush of this. It has got the tiniest little like mascara wand pretty much, which is so good for getting each individual brow hair. And I'll show you the difference up close in a second. And you can really like get to the very tail of your brow without making a mess because it's so skinny. So this is the eyebrow with just the pencil, and then you can see this one here is the one with the brow gel as well. It just kind of makes them look a little bit more defined and a bit more like fluffy. And I find that a lot of drugstore brow products are often quite warm, but these are really nice, like cool colours, which is good. Okay, so I've got two different eyeshadows here. I decided to keep it pretty simple because they had lots of different individual eyeshadows on their website. They have like matte ones, shimmer ones, glitter ones, duochrome ones. I've tried the duochrome ones in the past and they're absolutely beautiful. I think they're called the Chameleon or something. So I got a matte eyeshadow in the shade Anecdote, which is basically just like a standard brown. The packaging looks like this, and then this is the shade. It's just like a medium standard brown, that one there. And then to add something a little bit more fun, I decided to go for one of the glitter eyeshadows, which I haven't tested before. This is in the shade Pyramid, and oh my goodness, this is so pretty. The packaging for this one is more like chromy, and it's just like a gold shade. It kind of matches my jumper. These are just so sparkly. It's got like really, really finely milled glitter in it to the point where it almost looks like wet. So I'm doing a pretty basic eye look today, but I thought it would just probably be easiest to stick to shades that people are most likely to wear, if you get what I mean. So I'm starting off with this one, which is the brown. Let's put this on like my inner and outer corners and blend it through the crease. And then I'll put the gold on like the center. That was all from one dip. Wow. If you want a brown shade to do a really easy kind of like brown smoky eye, then that pretty much did it, like super easily. And I'm just gonna blend over those edges. And then I'm also putting that shade just along my lower lash line. Okay, so for these glitter eyeshadows, I find that they either work best with your finger, or if you are going to use a brush, they work best with a bit of setting spray, just so that the glitter like really sticks to your eyelid. So I'm just going to take some on my finger, and then I'm just going to press this onto the center of my eyelid. Oh, look at that. So pretty. I really hope you guys can see that. Actually, you know what? Let me apply the second eye close up. Okay, so I've just taken some on my finger, and then just pressing that onto my eyelid. Do you see what I mean about it being a super finely milled glitter? Ta-da! Just on my lower lash line to show you guys how it works. Oh god, I nearly dropped it. Just to show you how it works with a bit of setting spray, I'm going to take some on my brush. And then I'm using the Makeup Fixing Mist, which looks like this. And then I'm literally just giving it a couple of spritzes. And I'm putting some on my lower lash line. That was the easiest eye look in the world. Then I've got the Longwear matte eyeliner in the shade Soot, which is just black. And again, I did use this in my video the other day and really liked it because it's got such a fine little brush thing. So this is what the liner looks like. As you can see, it dries down, so it's fully matte black. Then I have the Intense mascara in Keyboard. I think Keyboard is the name. And this one looks like this. It's got like a matte tube with a shiny lid. And then the brush is just a natural bristle brush. It's quite a skinny brush with like short bristles. It's quite a natural mascara. But if you did want something more natural, say for example, you're not allowed to wear too much makeup to school, or you just wanted something a bit more on the subtle side for work, then that's what it kind of gives you with the first coat, but then it is buildable. So I'm just adding a second coat to this eye. So this is with one coat, this is with two coats. Okay, so the final step is the lips, and I've got quite a few different lip options. So on the website, they've got lots of different choices for things to do with your lips. They've got the Longwear liquid lipsticks, they've got matte lipsticks, I think they've also got non-matte like bullet lipsticks, they've got Longwear lip pencils, and then they've also got the ultra matte lip crayons. I think my favourite out of these is probably the ultra matte lip crayon. This really reminds me of the NARS velvet lip crayon things. I'm just going to do swatches of all of them. So this one is the lip crayon in the shade Feather. It just looks like this. It's like a chubby pencil. So that's a swatch of that one there. It's just like a really pretty rosy nude colour. Then the Longwear lip pencil I've got in the shade Ceramic, which is a nude. What a surprise. So that is that one there. It's a bit lighter and slightly less pink. Then the matte lipstick I've got in the shade Binary Code. The packaging for this is beautiful. It's like matte with the embossed logo and then the shiny. That is the matte lipstick there, so it's a little bit lighter and it pairs really nicely with this lip pencil. And then the liquid lipstick I have in the shade Adore. Let's do it down here. So that one there is Adore. Okay, to be fair, they all kind of look the same. Depending on what sort of formula you like, they've got lots of different options on there, so just go and have a look, and lots of different colours as well. They don't just do nudes. I'm gonna use the lip pencil first to outline my lips. My lips have been so dry recently. I think it's the cold weather. You know what? I'm going to try on this matte lipstick, which is the shade Binary Code, because it goes really well with this liner. Yeah, like you see how well these two pair together? So that is that lip combo, which is beautiful. The lipsticks are super matte, as you can see, but still creamy at the same time. Oh, but then I kind of want to try on the lip pencil as well. So this is the Ultra Matte Lip Crayon in the shade Feather. This is a really close match to my natural lip colour. Look at that. This is literally, for me, the perfect My Lips But Better sort of shade. And again, such a gorgeous formula. Like, it's matte and it looks really matte, but still super comfortable. And hopefully you can see it looks really smooth on my lips. Okay, so that is everything. This is what my full face looks like. Okay, so this is my full face. And I know you guys are probably thinking like, oh, so if you would say that this stuff is good because this video is sponsored. But I just really hope that you know that I would not do a video on stuff that I didn't like. So I did obviously trial this makeup beforehand, but I mean, as you can see from my face and the way that these products performed, I think Topshop Beauty at the moment have some fantastic products, and the fact that they're super affordable as well. Just overall, I was super impressed with everything, and everything will be linked down below. They've also got loads of products that I didn't test that are over on their website. Like, they've got even more products than this. Right, let me just find a question of the day. Question of the day comes from Lauren Creates, and she said, would you ever have your hair super short like a bob? I've had quite a few questions about this like recently that I've noticed in my comments. I don't think I would do it because I've got quite a round face, and I used to have a bob when I was like 7 or 8 years old, and I regretted it instantly. I used to have really long hair, and then I begged my parents for ages to let me have a bob, and they were like, no, you won't like it, you're gonna hate it. And I was like, no, I want my hair in a bob. And then I cut my hair to about like here, like I just can't imagine it. I cut my hair to about here and it honestly looked so bad and I hated it and I cried, and then I grew my hair out. I just like having long hair. Okay, so I'm gonna go now. I really hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Thank you so much to Topshop for working with me. Like, working with Topshop on a video is honestly one of the coolest things, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!